Welcome back. Today I will be featuring a review on one of the newest entries in the wedge-style flashlight world, Nitecore's EDC23. Let me start by saying thank you to Nitecore for sending this over for review, and holy cow does this thing pack a punch. Offering a max brightness of 2500 lumens with a 280 meter throw, all of this might is packed into a package that measures only 4 inches tall. Plus, the EDC23 still features a beautiful OLED display, and one of the other most major changes is this new quick lock side switch, but I'll get more into that a bit later. Currently, this device will set you back $75 on Amazon Prime and on Nitecore Store, and as always, there'll be links to purchase in the description below. As with other versions of Nitecore's EDC series of lights, the EDC23 features an easily accessible USB-C charge port. Charge time for this light is 1.5 hours for the internal 1500 milliamp battery, which on the lowest power mode can run for just over a day and a half at 39 hours. Charging cable is included along with manual and a lanyard. Worth noting, they actually included a nicer lanyard than the standard that most lights come with, so yeah, pretty cool. Like other Nitecore EDC series lights, it comes with an anti-slip coating that also seems to give some scratch resistance. As mentioned previously, the EDC23 measures 4 inches long by 1.3 inches wide by 0.89 inches tall. It weighs in at 3.56 ounces, and it features an IP54 ingress protection against dust and water. It also has a 2 meter drop rating. All that accompanied with its impressive output specs means the EDC23 is definitely punching above its weight class. I'll throw up the ANSI sheet so you can see all of its output numbers now, but feel free to pause if you want to read that further. The ergonomics on this light are great, even with my larger hands, as I always mention, and while I'm not a huge fan of the clip, more on that later, it does fall nicely right under my pinky finger when I am holding the flashlight, so it makes up for some of its lack. Now let's get into some of the more individual bits, mainly operation. Previous models have gotten some flack for slightly confusing UI. A lot of that revolved around the 2 lockout functions and how to activate and deactivate them. This series of light also are a bit different as they have not only a power button but also a mode button. This new EDC23 has added a side switch for what Nitecore is calling a rapid lock. Personally, I didn't find the UI to be all that complicated, especially when you compare it to something like Android 2.0, but I did have to play around with the light a little bit to get used to it again, so not muscle memory just yet. Let's start with the rapid lockout switch, the rapid lock switch. With the light off, you could slide the switch up and it'll put it in a lockout mode 2, which is called full lock, completely locking out the light, both power and mode buttons, until you slide the switch back down. If you would still like to retain the use of your strobe and turbo functionality, you can utilize lock mode 1, semi-lock, and to do so, you'd hold down the mode button while sliding the switch up. With the light unlocked, the operation is otherwise the same as previous EDC models from Nitecore. The mode button will get you to turbo when held and strobe button when pressed. And from off, half press and hold of the power button will get you to the 15 lumen ultra low mode. This also works when the light is on, meaning that if you're in a higher output level and you half press the power button, it'll drop you back down to that 15 lumen ultra low. From off, you could half press the power button and the OLED display will pop up and show you what your current battery level is, and then you could keep half pressing and cycle through the different power levels, let me call them the standard power levels, if you will. Once you've got to the power level that you want, fully pressing the power button will activate the light at the level you selected, and while you can once again keep half pressing to cycle through the power levels if you want to change it while it's on. This light does feature a memory mode as well, allowing you to go back to the power level you were at when you power the light back on. Some other noteworthy traits about the EDC23 include a proximity sensor that will step down the power level if there is obstruction in front of the emitters. There's also an advanced temperature regulation module paired with an aluminum heat dispensation plate on the back that looks kind of like a heat sink to help keep the light's surface temperature down. The strobe is also one that features a variable pulse rate, which I'm a big fan of as it's much more disorienting than a standard strobe. I will say, though, that I am not a fan of the pocket clip. Beyond it not being two-way, which I think would be an easy win to turn this into a headlamp, especially because of its smaller form factor. But as other reviewers have mentioned, I wish this was a bit of a deeper carry. I would also love to see a multifunction light similar to the Arcfeld series from Olight, where they maybe add a laser, a UV emitter, or both to one of their EDC series lights. And last but not least, I would also love to see if they started putting out a high CRI UHI LED in any or all of their lights. But this leads us back to our ultimate question. Would I buy this light again? And I could say without a doubt, I absolutely would. The size and form factor make it an excellent addition to any gear pouch, or if you want, it will absolutely disappear in your pocket. It offers rapid and easy recharging via the external USB-C port, and it is also rugged with the 2-meter drop rating, IP54 ingress protection, and the anti-slip coating, along with the obvious perk of it having a 2500 lumen output for a flashlight that's just about 4 inches tall. So whether you're looking to upgrade your EDC or getting a gift for a friend or loved one, be sure to take an extra look at the EDC23 from Nitecore. Thanks for watching. Carry on.